Hey there, everybody. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to day 16 of albums that are 30 years old in 2022 as we look back on the year that was 1992. 31 days of March, 31 of our favorite albums from this month. I'll be picking mine. You pick yours in the comments below. That's how it works each and every day. Today we're going to look at the fifth studio album from this legendary U.S. Doom band released on June 16th of 1992. Produced by Rick Rubin and the band for Deaf American Records. Talking about Manic Frustration by Trouble. Ooh, look at that. It's like the third time in the last 2 weeks that we've seen a cracked jewel case of stuff I'm showing you. Not good. I don't like cracked jewel cases. I have very few of them in my collection, but every now and then one of them will show up and I'll be like, oh, how did that happen? Don't know. Guess I'll have to replace it. Anyway, back to the album. Like I said, this is the fifth studio album from this band. This album and the one that came before it mark a definite change in direction a little bit for the band. Comprised of Eric Wagner on vocals, Bruce Franklin and Rick Wartell on drums. On guitars. Ron Holzner on bass and Barry Stern on drums with Rick Serrati on keyboards and couple of other guests on backing vocals here and there and whatnot, but again, produced by Rick Rubin. So there you have guys in the band right there. So, the first three albums from Trouble were definitely that kind of classic epic doom metal style. Slower songs, big riffs, lots of atmosphere. Okay, the great vocals of Eric Wagner, just a really unique singer. And then on their self-titled release, which came out, I believe, in 90, right? Just right before this one. Band moving into a little bit more of a kind of straight stoner rock, psychedelic rock type of a style. Whereas all the big, slow, big, heavy, riffy type songs in favor of faster paced material, tons more groove. You've got Eric singing in different vocal styles. Definitely a change of pace. There's definitely more psychedelic elements coming into the band. And what we would start to call stoner rock, right? Or biker rock, stoner rock. From this point in time, kind of going forward, a lot of bands doing that sort of thing, which kind of started like in the 80s, late 80s a little bit. That's kind of like where Trouble was sitting for a couple of albums, right? Before they kind of went back a little bit to some of their earlier roots. But no less engaging material. We've got 11 songs on this particular album. And, while this may not be my favorite or second or third favorite Trouble album, there's plenty of great material on here, I think. Come Touch the Sky is the kickoff track. What an engaging, groovalicious riff monster of a tune that is. But again, it's not really doom. I really wouldn't call anything on this album doom. This is your typical stoner rock type of thing, right? Really cool riffs, lots of wah-wah guitars and big drums and just like an overall sense of this feeling of groove throughout this whole album, which I think is kind of cool. Excuse Me is another great song. You got The Sleeper, Fear. Then comes a couple songs I'm not really nuts about. You got the kind of more acoustic Rain, and then Tragedy Man, which is kind of rootsy. I'm not big on either one of those two songs. However, Memories Garden is a killer song. Another one of my favorites on here. You got Manic Frustration, the title track, also kicks ass, some good riffing on there. And then I think, if it's not my favorite, it's my second favorite. Hello Strawberry Skies. Don't be fooled by the title. This is a killer song. It's heavy. The riff is just absolutely incredible. It just kind of sends shivers up and down my spine. I love the riffs of this band, regardless of whether they're doing the real straight doom stuff or this more kind of like stoner vibe. Bruce and Rick are terrific guitar players, and they work so well together. What else we got here? Mr. White, kind of brief, right, with a 3 minutes change. Actually, most of the songs on this album are like around 3 minutes. Not a lot of long stuff on this album, except the final track, which is called Breathe, which is a very kind of psychedelic, not really heavy at all, and it's like 6 minutes and change, and it's got these really kind of interesting, like late 60s, early 70s guitar solos on there. It's almost got kind of like a Robin Trower-ish, Frank Marino type of vibe going on there, which I think is pretty cool. Definitely different for this album. So, yeah, I dig this album. I like all the Trouble albums, actually. Really, really great band that never really had that much massive success, but most metal fans know who they are and dig them, I think. But definitely one of the more notable of the doom bands that have been out there, and it's kind of interesting to see them dip into this kind of like psychedelic stoner rock type of vibe for a couple albums, which I think they did really, really well. If they would have just kind of stayed with this, I would have been totally fine as well. But yeah, definitely. How many albums they got in total now? They've got. Trying to think, I always kind of lose track of the total number of albums. So they didn't do a ton of albums after this. So they did Plastic Greenhead, which kind of continued on this vibe, and then we went to Simple Mind Condition, and then the Distortion Field, which is the last thing we saw from them in 2013. Of course, that with a different vocalist. So, but yeah, again, a band that did some really, really great things, but not a lot of output in all the years, considering that Psalm 9 came out in 84. So you got Psalm 9, The Skull in 85, Run to the Light in 87, then Trouble in 1990, this one 92, Plastic Greenhead 95, Simple Mind Condition 2007, so there was a big gap there, and then the Distortion Field in 2013. So, but there you have it. That is my pick for today. Please list yours in the comments below, as well as any comments you might have on this particular album. And we'll see you tomorrow morning with another episode of Albums That Are 30 Years Old in 2022. Also, make sure you visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, but more importantly, we're here all together all the damn time on YouTube. Take care, everybody. We'll see you later on, all right? Bye-bye.